What's up, guys? It's Connor, and I'm here to bring you my first place Vanquisher deck profile from the Brotherhood shop challenge recently. And I'm joined by, guess what? Another Connor.
Hello.
The Connor's back at it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a 28-player event. There was 5 rounds before Swiss. Oh, 5 rounds of Swiss, and then top 8 cup. So I won my first 4 games, lost my 5th, went on to top 8, managed to win all 3 in top 8, and stole first place. So man's very happy. Alright, so without further ado, let's get started. So obviously you've got your starter. We're sticking with the OG starter because fuck the other two. I'll do it backwards like this, yeah.
Yeah, just
So of course you got your 4 Dragonic Vanquisher, well, hence the name of the deck. No explanation really needed. Most stupid card in the deck, 4 Jaggy Shot. This card's so great, it's so important in a mirror match because it puts itself in a soul, draws your cards after it attacks, which means you don't leave your opponent with any bind targets. It's good for setting up your multi-attack turns, and it's just overall nuts. It just draws your cards for days. And then my personal tech for the event was 1 Gauntlet Buster. So I ran this for any rogue matchups really. It only came up like 2, maybe 3 times max, but after the event, to be honest, I'm probably definitely going to take this out. So that's the grade 3s. Yeah, moving on to the grade 2s. We have the new best grade 2 in the clan, Shatura. He's what makes this deck so nuts. He's the multi-attacker, he draws your cards on hit, and he's nuts. Then we have the 4 of this dude. Again, like Jaggy Shot, it enables your multi-attacks and it draws your cards. It's just a very important card right now. It can also be used to filter your hand for anything that you have cluttered up in there. It's just overall, it's one of the better grade 2s to run right now. Then, unfortunately, the most pointless restriction, we can only run 2 Chowo, even though, to be blatantly honest, it did nothing. It was so pointless. And last for the grade 2s, we still run 2 Zoltan. Again, it's another body that replaces itself. It's really good in a matchup. I'm probably going to take the Gauntlet Buster out for a 3rd copy of him. You don't so much use it to be a beat stick like it used to be. Now you're just using it, like I said, as a body to replace itself. I mean, after attack, this can become any of this, basically. Now, moving on to the grade 1s. We have 4 of the new Stride fodder. This card's so good. For anyone who doesn't know, it's top 5, grab a grade 3, ditch card from hand. This card's actually really important in this deck because you search your Jaggies out of it. If you've already got your Vanquisher, never get the Vanquisher. If you've got the opportunity, if you've got the choice between the Vanquisher or the Jaggy, always go for the Jaggy. Unless, of course, you don't have Vanquisher. Next we have 4 Phoenix, and no explanation needed. If you're not running 4 Phoenix, you're doing it wrong. And then we have the other multi-attacker. I mean, he's pretty good. He, like Shatura, he calls himself after you bind it from your hand, but its second ability is a bit pointless of just soul charging 1 because you don't really run anything like Death Scythe anymore, so soul's not really relevant, but he's just there because he's another multi-attacker. Like, honestly, he's so important and people don't realise it. And then last but not least, we have the triggers. So 4 heal, of course. We have 4 draw PGs plus 2, and then 6 crit. Obviously going a 2-2-2 split just to play mind games with your opponent so they don't know how many crits you're actually running. It's always a good tactic to do. But yeah, so this is a deck I took. I came first place for this. Do you want me to give the matchups?
Yeah, go for it.
Alright, so round 1, I'm not gonna lie, that was a really unfair matchup in my favour because the Claret Sword player milled 2 of his clarets, and then the other 2 went to his damage. Ouch.
You can't see it, but I'm just smiling.
Oh, I felt so bad for him. But yeah, that game, of course I won because, you know, you're not going to win without your claret and claret sword, are you?
Obviously.
But game 2, I then went against Mordred, so 2 shadow players in a row. That was actually quite a fun game. Ended up with about between 14 and 16 card hand at the end of turn. We both looked at each other, started laughing because we were just like, how the fuck did he draw this many? But yeah, so the game 2 I won. Game 3, who was I against game 3? Oh yes, I had my first mirror match. So I've got to thank Shane here for this, because before the event started, me and Shane did a few test play games of the mirror match so we can get used to it. So I won my 3rd game because I had a bit more knowledge at the time, thanks to our play testing on how to play it. The mirror match is a bit iffy. It's hard to explain how you play it, to be honest. But like things like Jaggy Shot and Zoltan are how you really win the mirror match, because you always want bodies that can go, like, just jump in a soul, replace themselves to hand. Because like if your opponent has nothing to bind in your front row, it's harder for them to pronk, like Vanquisher's skill, for example. And then game 4, I had a Riviera player that wasn't Matt. He failed a G assist going to grade 3 somehow. And I may have curve stomped him a little bit. So in game 5 against Dom, I lost that. But to be honest, we both knew we were going to Swiss anyway, so not Swiss. Both knew we were going to top 8 at that point anyway, so we didn't really care who won and lost. So we didn't really take that game too seriously. But yeah, so the end of Swiss, I was in 2nd place, and then we went to top 8. My first game, I went against a touchy player, and he was running 1 Anchor Blade, and saw it every bloody game he played. I swear to God, the guy was lucky, or there's shenanigans going on here, but every game he played in that tournament, he almost always got the Anchor Blade. But, I mean, that was quite an interesting game. Touchies have still got potential to them. People need to realise that. Yes, you can only run 1 Anger Blader, but it's still a good deck. But yeah, I won that game. It was actually quite close, to be fair. Then my 2nd game, I went against Dom again with the Murakami mirror match. This time, though, I just managed to out-pressure him and got to a point where I had, like, 3 or 4 Axel markers and had, like, the grade 2 and 1s ready to multi-attack, the Phoenix is ready to multi-attack, and he just, at that point, his hand was so low from the turn before, he just couldn't guard it. And then last game, we went against the Matty himself. And I'll tell you, I don't know if I told you about this. So when me and Dom finished, we were watching Matt play his game, as he was against Aquaforce, I think. And when he finished, he looked over to us, and I just literally grinned at him, and he was like, "Oh no, I've got you, haven't I?" I was like, "Yeah, boy, you gotta face your team captain." So, Team Salt Lords managed to make it all the way to final rounds, and yeah, Matt got bitch slapped, to put it simple.
Yeah.
But
That's your job.
it's a great event. For winning, managed to get this Claret Sword map, Quint Shields, even though we're technically not going to have them yet, the redeemable marker, and the box of Dranity.
Dranity.
Dragon's Vanity. Yes, it's a Dranity.
It's renamed. Confirmed.
Nanny.
Go to Bushy Road and tell them to call it Dranity on re-release.
Alright guys, this is set Dranity now. Yeah, overall that's the deck, guys. That was the experience. It was a fun event. And yeah, let's just hope I can perform this way at Cardiff. So Team Salt Lords and Team Soulforge, we're going to be carrying this event.
Yeah! We are the event.
We are the 2 team captains and we're gonna do this.
And we're both called Collar.
Yeah! Peace out!
So-